You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, everybody. I made it back from Japan in one piece. If you missed me, I'm back.
Hey everyone, and welcome to your Thursday edition of the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
And we are your hosts for this show where we're going to look at some TV and some comic books. And hello everyone.
Yes.
It's a beautiful freaking hot day here in San Francisco.
Yes, it is warm. And I'm here in a nice air-conditioned home, so I'm very happy about that. And I want to give a special kudos to my co-host Rich for holding it down last week. He did not want to cancel. He was like, "Hey, you know, I love this community. I want to, I still want to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it." So
8 books. I got 8 books done.
He got 8 books, and I was like, "Are you sure you're gonna have enough?" And he's like, and I was like, "All right." So yeah. So for this week, we don't have that many. We don't have that many because we love to banter and we love to talk to all of you. So again, welcome everybody. Hello, Easy Reader, Space Case Cards,
Leonard, Barlord, Jabroni,
Paul. Thank you all for joining us. And as always, you know what we have to give away. It is our variant cover of the week. And check out this glorious black and white cover for DC Horror. It's a new imprint, I guess. DC Horror presents the Creature Commandos by the fabulous Jim Lee. It is a black and white 1 in 25 variant cardstock cover, no less. So you know what to do. Put in hashtag EXPTGC variant in the comments, and hopefully you'll be able to win this fantastic variant. Please put it in. I want to get it out of my house.
And if you want, I got colored pencils. I'll color it for you too.
Please don't. Please.
I could do it.
It was funny. He was all like, "Wow, like that's very bold of them to do a black and white variant cover." And I was like, "Well, it's Jim Lee. Like he's a bankable name." And yeah, and I'll tell you, it was a very interesting read. And this cover is fantastic. So definitely put it in there. We want to give it away. I want to give it away. I want you to have it. So please. Do it. Get this cover.
And Barlord, we're going to be reviewing this in the third section of the show tonight.
Yeah. So with all that out of the way, we want to start off with some TV. And the first thing we're going to talk about real quick, and I know you don't have an image for this, JD, and that's fine. I just wanted to talk about it because I was so of course I was on the cesspool known as X, and it's just horrible place sometimes. I mean, it's fun too. I mean, you go in there, it's like watching a car crash, and people have been posting their thoughts of the new Joker movie, Folie à Deux, and the reviews have been very polarizing, and it's just so interesting to me that they are I mean, like, critics or the people that have seen it before, like, I don't know. I'm bringing it up because the marketing, I guess, did not do that movie justice. But then again, I don't think people were really aware of what they were getting into. And I have not seen the movie.
Is it because it's a musical?
It's a full-on musical, and I guess the way that this Joker was portrayed in the movie, and of course, like I saw the spoilers and I know what happens and all that other stuff, and it just seems to me, we're not going to talk about spoilers because the movie isn't even out yet, so we're not going to talk about spoilers or anything like that. It's just, it seems like people who were riled up and super excited about the first movie were thinking that they would be getting sort of the same thing in the sequel, and it was completely different, so much so that it was polarizing to the fans of the first movie. And one of the critics that I watch was basically said it was almost like the director took it upon himself to almost destroy, literally destroy what the first movie was, as sort of a fu to the studio wanting them to make a sequel, because like how everything kind of moves in this sort of circular thing in the movie. I don't know. It was just like, it was just this thing about how you could have one movie where, Walking Phoenix won the Oscar, and it could just be this like super like, and then have it be the complete opposite. It's just crazy. And they say Lady Gaga's performances were great, although it seemed like it was an afterthought because they didn't know what to do with her. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Barlord. Exactly. It's like Todd Phillips didn't want to make it, and because the movie made gangbusters money, the studio was like, "Let's do it." And that's why I'm thinking. I honestly believe that this could be some kind of a sabotage type thing. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll put my my tinfoil hat on and anything, but I don't know. So
Well,
just to hear like during next week's show what folks think about it, because it's definitely a lot different than the first movie.
well, I just read the spoilers.
Yeah. So maybe next week we can talk more about it, because I don't know, it just seems really, really crazy. So all that's to say is, if you're thinking about watching that movie, go in with like, I will say an open mind, but I don't even think an open mind will help that, because it just seems like it's really like disjointed and crazy, and but not in a good way. So but yeah, that's the but now that you put the Joker on, and like I thought like the imagery and everything looked great, but in the trailers, but if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. So yeah, go in with low expectations. Yeah. But having said that, let's talk about something that I did enjoy, and that was the last two episodes of Agatha All Along, episodes 4 and 5, in which we get musical numbers, much to Rich's chagrin. So I've already spoken a lot. Rich, what were your thoughts on episodes 4 and 5?
I thought it was 3 and 4.
Sorry, 3 and 4. You are correct. It seems like it's going for forever. That 1 week gone just threw me off. Yeah, it's 3 and 4. We got 2 the first night. I was gone for last week's, and then we watched this one last night. So yes.
All right. So I enjoyed this week's better than last week's, even though last week's was a lot of fun.
Really?
And we get a lot of spoilers in this, so let's just dive right in.
Why did you,
Leonard? I don't hate them. I just don't want to watch them.
I mean, I think with Rich, it's like if there's a musical number in it, it's fine. But if there's too many, that's when it starts to get a little bit, he starts to get a little cranky.
I enjoyed the Buffy musical very much.
See?
And then when it came to the Supergirl musical, that was torture. Straight up torture.
The Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, that was fun.
That was fun.
Dr. Horrible, that's fun.
Yeah. So I knew going in that this was going to be, they were going to be singing the songs.
Well,
We're going to hear this song probably another 20 times before the whole thing's over.
the Witch's Road ballad.
Probably.
Well,
Probably.
I don't know. Like, you cast Patti LuPone and you want her to sing. So
Oh my God, that was hysterical. Do you play any instruments? She's playing like the triangle. Out of all the women in the cast, she is the most musical out of all of them. I loved it.
yeah,
I love her in this. Okay, so let's go with last week's first.
okay.
Last week's was the water trial. And
The alchemy wizard, the alchemy
yes.
witch.
So I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the actress that's playing Jennifer Kale. For all the BS that went down about her casting, they couldn't. The people that are complaining the most about the casting couldn't tell you one thing she's done in the last decade, because the comic books haven't used Jennifer Kale much, if at all.
If at all.
And in this, I'm really enjoying her story arc, because now this makes 2 weeks we're learning more and more about her.
Mm-hmm.
Patti LuPone's character has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see her trial, because if you notice, she's talked a lot about how they view witches, and witches are this, and they think we do this, and we think they do that. So I also am enjoying all the little ties to all the different magical things across, like Bewitched, the settings of the houses, the way this week's house looked, and how the mother was so involved. I'm enjoying the writing basically is strong for all these characters, except I feel, remember this is me, it's weird that Agatha is getting, I think, the lesser for story so far. We get a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Aubrey Plaza's Rio was introduced this episode, and what she said at the end we couldn't understand, so we tried to turn our closed captioning on. That didn't work. Finally, we turned it all the way up, and you learn that that's not your child. Like,
Yeah.
That was a really nice way to end it.
Yeah, because people were thinking that it possibly the boy could be her child, and
Nicholas Scratch.
Yeah, and I thought no, it can't be.
So I'm excited to see next week. I think this show has been a lot different than I expected. I really went into this thinking it was going to be one way, and I'm pleasantly surprised at what we get week after week.
Yeah. I do believe that she is not dead. I believe that Mrs. Hart is not dead.
Oh no, I don't either.
I do think that when she said in the third episode, when she said she sold her son to Mephisto, I cackled with glee, because I do believe that her son is going to be Blackheart. I know I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The major villain of the show is going to be Blackheart. I do believe that, the son of Mephisto, and she's by she I mean Agatha is going to see what happened to her son. Like, I honestly believe that that's what's gonna happen. And I don't think that we're gonna get Wanda. I think it's going to be alluded to, but I don't think that we're going to get an actual visual sighting of her. I think the ending is going to send Billy, I think it is Billy, is going to send him on a vision quest to kind of find where she is. And this is going to either tie into another TV series or possibly another movie. Most likely, I think that the whole Wanda storyline is going to be done on Disney Plus. I don't think we're going to have Wanda in the movies anymore. I really believe that they're going to compartmentalize her into into the Disney Plus. It just seems like with Disney going into a whole nother direction than what this is going. So I can't see how Agatha all along is going to fit into the current Marvel landscape, given where it's going with all of the secret spies and Captain America. They're really going for a much more grounded, if you call that grounded, cinematic universe now. And I really believe that Marvel's really trying to pull it back, and they'll use Disney Plus to kind of like experiment and do other stuff with. I really believe that's what's going to happen. I just think it's safer for them. As far as the episodes, I did think, for whatever reason, I thought last episodes was just a little bit more. It had a little bit more meat to it, and there was a lot more high stakes. And then this one, not to say that I agree with you, Barlord. Marvel is definitely a course correction right now. Even though we got to see the curse, and it seems like every episode is correcting these witches in some way. That way we're going to have, Agatha's trial is probably going to be the one at the end, and her trial is going to be a trial of like trust or something where she's going to have to trust them, or something's going to have to happen, or she's going to have to sell them out to like save her son or something like that. That's probably what's going to have to happen in this one. And it's fine. I really am liking the characters. I like their interaction. It's just a fun show. It's just a fun little watch. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I really like that they have even given Aubrey Plaza and Kathryn Hahn that little kind of like witchy poo lesbian thing at the end of the last episode. I was like, okay, so she was her lover, which is obvious, when she was talking about the things that they lost, and the scar as a person, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. She hurts you. And I believe that she was probably a witch that was in her coven before. And that's why, she probably survived the road or something like that. Again, it's just fun. It's just fun. It doesn't take itself so seriously, like I said before, and it's just a fun little show. I really wish that there was more stuff like that. Do we know what's in the pipeline next after this one? Like, I know we have like the Vision TV show supposed to be coming out, and then we have Ironheart. But what is next on the agenda? Like, it seems like Disney Plus has been sort of like quiet lately for a lot of their stuff.
I just want to go back to something Barlord said.
Mm-hmm.
So to the Disney Plus content, I don't think, he says, I don't think the content has given them the returns they'd hoped. I'm going to blame Kevin Feige for that directly, because in the very beginning, he was like, oh, you don't need to watch these shows. You don't tell your audience you don't need to watch the shows.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. They could have made a really solid effort to start stuff on Disney Plus and put it in the movies. Leave your TV shows where the meat of your stuff is, and then leave your big budget blockbuster summer events on the big screen.
Yeah.
When they said, oh, you don't need to watch it, that gave permission to so many people to be like, this isn't going to matter. So I blame the top for that, for not saying this is important. So that's all on him. That is all on him.
But then you have stuff like what happened with like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, where Wanda's arc in WandaVision was completely derailed. So it's like at some point, like they're kind of doubling down on it. So yeah. Barlord, same thing, Barlord. So Leonard, before we go to break, Leonard says they keep leaning into obscure characters to develop, so there's less backlash when they make changes to them. Echo Agatha. I'm waiting for a Frogman spinoff from She-Hulk. You know what? Don't wish for that, please. No, don't wish for that. Like I can be a Marvel kind of like nerd, and I can defend them to some extent. And while some of She-Hulk was okay, looking back on it, Like, so we should go through and rate. Like, we really should. One episode, like for like one segment, we should actually rate the the Disney Plus shows for Marvel and see what our thoughts are. So that'd be kind of funny. But
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
On a slow week.
On a slow week, we'll do that. There you go. But you know what time it is? It's time for our first break. When we come back, we are all in for DC. So stay tuned.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
Whoa. Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
It's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Beardy Rich.
I'm Beardy Des, Black Beardy Des.
Hey everyone, want to remind you that we are giving away a 1 in 25 Jim Lee DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos cover. And you got to do hashtag EXPTGC variant to win this. So, hey, Garth Wong, welcome in.
Yes.
Hydra Asylum Comics is back.
Yes, and Markland Baker is hilarious. Loved him in Perfect Strangers as well.
Was he Uncle Larry? Or Cousin Larry?
It was Cousin Larry, yes. He's
Cousin Larry.
He played her on She-Hulk. He played her dad.
Yes.
Yes. Not into Ribbit and Rip It, Des? What's Ribbit and Rip It? I missed that. Huh? I don't know. Please explain Hydra Asylum Comics. Please let me know. Hi, Garth Wong. So, yes, we are all into DC right now. Oh, the Frogmen show name.
Oh my God.
Ribbit and Rip It. Yes, I'm here for it. No, I'm not.
Silly.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Absolute Power number 4 and DC's All In Special number 1. You know what time it is? It must be a year, ending in ER when DC's getting ready to, reboot something or create something. DC, they love to kick their their universes off and do weird stuff with it. So it's just the same. It's just another day at DC offices. I swear to you. But Absolute Power, let's go.
All right. Absolute Power number 4, ending this all. Writer is Mark Waid. Artist is Dan Mora. Colors, Alejandro Sanchez. Letters, Ariana Maher. That cover was done by Dan Mora, and there was a butt ton of variant covers. And I got my the last connecting 12
Yay!
of 12. John Timms. They are great covers. I love them.
No, that's awesome.
And I got to be honest. I talked about it last week. I am all in on DC's All In. And I think Mark Waid, I know everyone has their opinion of this man, but I have to tell you, his Batman, Superman, whatever that
World's finest
book has been fun. This is why I'm excited for his Justice League Unlimited. Him and Dan Moore are going to be the creative team on that book. And he knows how to craft a fun superhero story. Fun.
That moves. Yeah.
We have 4 issues of this with some tie-ins. I went through them last week. I am sad that this is over, but excited because I've actually got to read a bunch of the All-In books. And oh my God, guys, if you've been on the fence about DC books, All In is the time to go. And I'm gonna be real honest with you. We are reviewing Storm number 1. I have so far given up on 4 X books, leaning on 5 X books, and I'm replacing them with DC titles. Wow. Tom Taylor is taking over on Detective Comics. That was a great book. Action with Superman, Superwoman is in it. Like, they've got some good stuff coming, guys.
Yeah.
And this Absolute Power launches it all. It's just, let's get to it. What did you think?
The Hawkman being, I'm gonna get out the bad stuff first. The Hawkman being brainwashed by or being mind wiped or whatever by John John's Martian Manhunter. I was like, okay,
Hawkman.
Sorry, not Hawkman.
Green Arrow.
Sorry. I don't know why I was thinking Hawkman, but
yeah, Barlord Action's going twice a month.
Yeah,
or no, weekly. I think it's actually going to be weekly.
God, I hope not. I thought it was twice a month. Oh. So that aspect of it, I was kind of like, okay, we needed a quick fix to why he was acting like that. Okay, I got it. That's fine. How they were able, what I liked is how the people that Amanda Waller had in her inner circle, all of them were the ones that turned on her. And
right.
And Tom Tomorrow, yeah, how he had his hourglass, like how they explained how the Mazos were able to correct themselves was they just switched back in time to before. It was like, it's almost like they were doing like a save state, which I thought was really kind of cool, that they were using that time as like a save state. They would go back. I thought that was cool, and how they were able to cascade it together because they were all using the same tech. I thought that was really kind of cool. I don't think Failsafe is gone. I think Failsafe will be back. You can't get rid of a character like that and have him be gone. The whole thing with the multiversal army that was coming through, part of me wanted to see more of that.
Same.
But at the same time, now that the consequences, see, what I liked about it is it had its own, this whole story had its own beginning, middle, and end, and the ending was still even though Mark Waid was able to open it up to new things, I enjoyed the ending. What happened to Amanda Waller with her mind being not erased but kind of locked away and having it on the tip of her tongue, like that pain just felt so like just that felt so good. And then the crazy stuff is that people got their powers back. Some people didn't. Some people got different powers. So like I want to know the long-standing ramifications of what happens with this. So it's not even just that we get this kind of like all-in thing. You know, they don't have access to the multiverse anymore. It's in its own little universe, except for like the Elseworld. And when Superman mentioned Elseworld, I was like, wait, what? Like, there's just, while it had a satisfying ending, the way that it opened up for what's to come was just as exciting. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed what I read.
So I just want to say a couple things too about that. Fire and Ice switching powers. I hope I get a story about that.
Yes,
I want to know. So
Black
they showed Plastic Man.
Black Canary with heat beams.
Yeah, they showed Plastic Man when they said no powers, and I wonder if that ties into the book.
No,
it doesn't.
No.
So interesting that they have him depowered, and also Barry is depowered.
Did you notice something?
What?
You'll flip to it at the end. At the end, after Zatanna does her stuff, and gives sorry, no. Sorry, that was DC All In. I'll say that for DC All In.
Okay. Yeah, because Zatanna wasn't big in this. So yeah. I absolutely loved the way Nightwing took down Amanda Waller.
Yeah, with Airwave.
Airwave.
And I think Airwave's probably going to get his own book. Hi, Meatwad. Welcome in. I do think that Airwave is going to get his own book. I think Mark Waid really liked that character to give him a spotlight like that. Yes, I think given what happened to Dick Grayson in I Know What You Did Last Crisis, it's just even crazier that that he had a banner day in this comic, but then like what happened in that one, we're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really thought this was a great issue. I
did too. I'm really glad that I started this Absolute Power Up. There was a lot in that issue, but there's a lot in All In. And I do want to just remind everyone, in case you don't know, Miss Jen, she's big on the channel. She has What's in the Box. She does Talking Comics. She will be doing an interview with Scott Snyder next week. So be sure to set that up in your subscriptions or whatever one. I don't know what the term is, but watch for it. I am very excited to see that as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Leonard. I am not going there. All In was a flip book. So you read the first story first, and then you flip it and you see the reverse. But the way that they structured it, you actually get both sides, because I actually went through and it was a really interesting way they did this. And it all leads to one page. Love it. So Alpha, this is Joshua Williamson and Scott Snyder did the writing. Daniel Sampier, who does Wonder Woman. It's amazing. The art. Dan Mora did the center spread artist, and that was great. Alejandro Sanchez did the colors. Tamara Bonvillain did the center spread colors, and Steve Wands did the lettering. The cover was by Daniel Sampier and Alejandro Sanchez. And the variant covers, there were 3 of them, and then a foil cover as well. On the other side, the only difference is Wes Craig was the artist. Mike Spicer did the coloring, and Steve Wands did the letters for that as well.
Hi,
And the
BB.
other side,
Welcome in.
the other side was the new Absolute Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. We didn't show you that, sorry. So this was crazy. I got to read this like about a month ago.
I hate you so much sometimes.
And I did not mention one spoiler to Des, only that I'm going to say I think you're going to like where it's going. So, was I wrong?
You were not wrong. You were not wrong. I super enjoyed it. I thought how it was written, and it's funny because I'm actually watching Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, because I only watched. I was ripping and running during the time that it was super, popular, and it was on TV. So I never really got to see all of them. I only watched a couple every so often. But I started watching it, and so it's funny that when this whole issue started, and they were talking about the card, and you get the card if you bought the book, you got the card. It was when the DC did, and I got Batman. I don't know. I think they're all Batman, but I thought it was kind of cool, and I was just like that whole first issue, that whole first part made me feel just so like, I don't know. It felt like old DC for a minute there. It felt like old DC with the Watchtower and the Question being head of security, and it really felt like they were tapping into, by they I mean the writers were tapping into that nostalgia for Justice League that was happening, and like how they were all working together and the reasoning behind it. I mean, it all made sense. And so when I was reading them all coming together and saying, we need to be more, we need to bring more people in, we need to keep it going, it really felt, yes, Leonard, I think it really felt like this was the beginning of something new. Yes, Dwayne McDuffie was great for changing it, bringing it, and making it more, to be able to tell these more stories and actually bring it together and make it make sense. And the fact that they were referencing the last really 5 years of DC, and even talking about like convergence, they threw the convergence in and all this other stuff. Like, these are people that are like architects of like DC for the longest time, and they're actually they're canonizing it all and making it all make sense. And this was all leading up to this. And if you've been reading it and it really feels good that writers do that. And I really liked that. The whole episode with Darkseid coming in and his reasoning being cut off from the multiverse, and really piggybacking off of the Grant Morrison stuff, with Darkseid being a single aspect in all of the omniverse and the multiverse. And what's keeping him in check is the fact that he is spread out across the multiverse. All of it came running back when he was cut off from it, was fantastic. And then him creating a world or a universe that is solely the opposite of hope, which was Superman, making Superman his antithesis, I thought was brilliant. But the one thing that stuck out to me that I did not like was the fact that Darkseid at the end of his section said, I will come back and I will crush that other one. I did not like that. And the reason why I did not like that is because now we literally have Darkseid's own thing, his own universe, where he is the where he is the pseudo like god
Ruler,
ruler of it. And I just thought that it would be fantastic for him to just solely be there in that one and not worry about the other thing and have it be its own thing. and not have him his overarching goal to like crush the other thing. You know, it seemed like a lot of his arc in that story was him wanting to know what was happening, what was going on. And then when he finally learned it and he transcended into his own kind of reality, it just seemed like him wanting to come back and destroy this other thing just seemed kind of silly. But one thing that I did think that was kind of interesting was when Orion said, you know, Darkseid is a constant and the universe will autocorrect itself, makes me think that the other universe is going to create a new Darkseid. Just like his universe has a Superman or a Trinity, the base DC universe is probably going to have a Darkseid, and I wonder what that is. Now, the elephant in the room, the Omega Legion, is that what we're going to call them? The Omega Legion?
Sure, we'll start that up.
They had the flight ring, and when I saw a legion of superheroes that was based on Darkseid, I flipped out. 2 reasons. One, I was happy to see that we're getting Legion back even in this form, but I was pissed because we don't have a regular Legion, which makes me hope that we get another Legion, like we get the real Legion. That was a lot to say. That. What's your thoughts?
Barlord, I agree. I think now that I've read this all in, I do think the new Gods book is going to become a little bit bigger than we all thought it was going to be.
And he's basically
black. Really looking forward to it. Yeah. I've got to read the Absolute Wonder Woman and Batman, and I can't wait for us to be talking about them. We haven't ordered the Superman yet, so when I do, I'll get to read that. I was really excited when I saw this new, we'll just call it Omega Legion. I was excited for you because you talk about the Legion and how we are missing a Legion book, and the closest we got to it was the Justice Society that Jeff Johns wrote. And I just wanted to say, one of the books that if we didn't go into Agatha so much, hey, there it is, that's the other side to it. That is the Darkseid story.
Prince over here Superman looked like Prince.
Yeah, very much so. I'm excited for this new DC universe because I feel it's going to be more connected like the old DC universe used to be. Yeah. That is what I fell in love with. I love the fact that the heroes weren't, you got to see different heroes in all the books, like all the books. It was really nice in the Absolute Power with Green Lantern had help from the Flashes. Like it was stuff like that I miss. And I have given up on DC for many years. And I feel like they are aligning this universe now to be something more in line with what I want to read. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah. Very excited. Yes, Hydra Asylum Comics, she has magic sword, basically. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. She's got a Buster sword.
Yeah, so we got to go to break, unfortunately. But I want to say to everyone, if you are even curious about DC Comics, pick this book up. It's $5. There is a ton of pages. Like $5 is a really good price because this would have cost 10 at Marvel. I'm just saying. It is a flip book. It's got almost every hero you could want in it, and the art is amazing.
Oh, so. Also, I think the thing I'll talk about Zatanna, I think they put her in her old costume for some reason, but we'll talk about it later. So, alrighty, we'll be right back after our last break. Come back, yay!
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! with Nancy McCann and Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience. Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Beardy Rich.
I'm Black Beauty Des.
So we've only got less than maybe 15 minutes, so be sure, get in your hashtag for this 1 in 25 black and white Jim Lee variant cover for DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos, hashtag EXPTGC variant. Get it in, because this is the last segment. And I want to say in the comments, yes, Leonard, oh my God, it is so nice to have a writer that doesn't just make stuff up, that they actually follow what has come before them. That is something I think a really good writer does. Why am I killing you? I'm trying not to swear. I just get a little excited.
I get it.
And yes, Marvel doesn't have anything like that right now. That's why I'm leaving Marvel. And thank you, Hydra Asylum Comics. We love being here and we love doing this every week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about DC's I Know You Did Last Crisis #1.
But just one story.
But I really love that cover though. I'm a Dan Hip fan. I've been a Dan Hip fan for a very long time. I just love that cover. So
I had to get the Miss Nicola Scott Nightwing because you know she can draw the hell out of anything.
I just like that cover. Anyway, excuse me.
So this is an anthology book, and you know how I feel about anthology books.
It's like they do it like once a month now. It's crazy.
I know, but there's something special about this book, and the whole reason why I actually bought a physical copy is because I've been reading DC long enough to remember Dan Didio. Does everyone remember Dan Didio? Dan Didio was one of the most...
Hold on. BB, hardcore, and you got to put the EXP in front of that. And it's T-
and the G.
So you're close. But try again, please.
So Dan Didio was very, very, very controversial in his run as editor and in the chief person in charge. And one of the things he always wanted to do was kill Nightwing.
Why?
And
I never understood that.
He just doesn't like Nightwing. And what you said last segment about Nightwing actually doing really well was funny, because I feel like the Titans, which by the way, the Titans came out last week or this week, and it was the last issue of Tom Taylor's run, and said bye to him. He's going to a different book. But more than that, for Justice Society, it was Jeff Johns' last book for DC. And the last issue of Justice Society was a tribute to his sister, who Stargirl is based on. Yeah. It was a great issue. Todd Nyock drew the hell out of it. I I'm excited for the new one, but it was a really good cap to this really up and down story Jeff Johns wrote.
Yeah, and I'll be able to get Titans again, so I'm happy.
What?
I'll be able to get Titans again, so I'm happy.
Yeah. So in this was written, the story that we want to talk about was written by Dan Didio, art by M.L. Sanapo, color by Hi-Fi, letters by Carlos M. Mangual. Okay, everyone. He finally gets his wish. I read this and I was like, wow, you are back writing a DC story. And what is the story you pitched? I want to kill Nightwing finally. And he does.
Not just kill him
over,
multiple times.
And over, he will always just die. That is some shade, if anything.
Yeah, I don't know why, but so basically the whole thing is in an Infinite Crisis, Connor Kent dies. So let's see. So Superboy dies. Remember, he got killed by Superboy Prime. Well, supposedly, that was Nightwing. Hi, Phil. Nightwing was supposed to die, and because he didn't, that's why the DC universe keeps being, a shithole. And that's why it keeps, sucking, is because Nightwing keeps living. And so Connor comes in and traps him in his place because Connor kept dying. And that's basically it. Connor's talking to him and saying, he literally is almost like the time trapper almost. And he's like, Dick thought it was Superboy Prime, but it wasn't. It was Connor, which I kind of knew who it was going in. Like it was very telegraphed all the way from the beginning. But irregardless, he dies literally in every reality, in every multiverse, in every omniverse. Dick Grayson dies now, and because he does that, Superboy Prime, Cassie Sandsmark, so the original Teen Titans, they get to live on and have a happy life in a utopian society in which there's no more need for superheroes or anything like that. Yeah, he literally slapped. Yeah, Bar-Lord. Yes, Bar-Lord. He literally slapped the crap out of all Nightwing fans in one fell swoop. It was rough because I was reading it and I was like, wow. It's like, why did he like? And so I read some reviews and people were even like, what did Nightwing do to him?
And it was, you could tell it was Didio's. You could hear Didio's voice.
Oh yeah.
While Connor was talking, you just heard. Well, we couldn't do it. You got blocked. Now you're gonna die and die again and die again and die again.
Because he was like, you just won't die. And he was like, well, maybe it's supposed to be like this. And he's like, no, you're supposed to die. And I was just like, damn, that is some shade.
Yeah. So I wanted Des to read this because we used to, back when we had a physical location on Castro Street, Des and I started the Geek Chat on the floor with maybe a dozen or so comic book fans of the store. And we would sit around and talk about comics. And Infinite Crisis was one of the books that we started with.
Yeah.
And Des and I have been in this Didio Nightwing battle for so long. And I read this and I was like, I got to tell Des, we have to talk about it. Because
it was
crazy. Yeah. It was silly. So we have 5 minutes.
So
do we want to talk about Storm?
Now, see, we were going to talk about DC Creature Commandos. All you need to know about it is it's a new imprint. I don't think it's a new imprint at all. I think they're just, maybe it's a new horror thing, but it's to coincide with the animated series that's coming out. All you need to know is it's basically about them creating the story and
a big main villain at the end confused me.
Yeah, Brainiac's at the end, and I don't know why, because I never thought Brainiac was a creature, but I guess he is. So, but again, I don't know in what timeline this takes place. If this is an Elseworld story, or if it's a
because these aren't the Creature Commandos featured in the animated cartoon.
Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, it really is kind of interesting, but at the same time, the artwork was a little meh. But
Yes.
again, you can. I mean, I like Creature Commandos, and I want to enjoy it, but I just don't know if this is going to have the legs, like it should. Like,
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And then real quick, Storm #1 came out. It was drawn by Lucas Wernock, which I have loved his stuff since he started on the whole X books. The art is amazing. The story was a little hit or miss.
It was rough.
But art wise, great. If you're a fan of Storm, pick this up. But hey, we are gonna have to do this. It's time.
It is time, everybody. So if you have not yet already put in your hashtag to get this fantastic cover by the great Jim Lee. It's a black and white it's a black and white cover stock. Sorry. It's a cardstock cover for the Creature Commandos #1. Please do so now. You have 1 minute when the little hand strikes the 8 for 658. It's on 658, I think. You will get it.
Oh,
so please.
Following us is Catch Up with Mog and
Yes.
Mel. Be sure to stay and tune in. All right, JD, hit it.
Yes. Roll it, Jay. Right. Roll it, 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 roll it.
Oh! Yay!
Leonard. Thank you, Leonard.
That is awesome.
All right, my friend. Can you please fill out the information that our good friend, the Experience, put into the chat. Please fill that out as soon as possible. We want to get it out tomorrow. If I don't, we're just gonna color it, and I don't think you want that. So please, Leonard, fill it out, buddy. Please.
All right, everyone. Great show. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends. And we will be back next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
Bye.
Bye.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. That'd be really great. Thanks.